What's up, everyone? It's been a nearly full 24 hours, but we are here with post-game show, post-game, which, by the way, announcement to make, we will not be missing a single game the rest of the regular season.
And that's facts.
That is fact.
Not a one.
Schedules aligned. We are good to go. Happy to be back. Let's get this thing started.
Right.
We all know how yesterday went. It was probably the game of the year in the entire NFL. We must preface it with that.
That's a fact.
That was the game of the year, and
there's no question.
Game I think that has the potential to top that is another Browns game in Week 17.
You know what, man? I don't think so. Honestly, the way the Steelers have been backsliding, the way that they've been so much less explosive on offense, and I
started figuring this shit out.
Yeah, and I don't think, I don't think that they're going to have that the Steelers are going to have any answers for our offense on defense on their defense
when they're missing their LBs. Like every LB has gone down basically.
Yeah. But let's not do the pregame show for the Steelers matchup. No. Let's do the postgame show for the Ravens. First off, what a fucking heartbreaker.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, I saw over a minute left on that clock, and I said you gave them too much time.
I knew it.
First thing I said in my head.
I fucking knew it.
And if you had just waited, and Stefanski, he's like, Kareem was excited. You can't, like, you see an opportunity to score. Sometimes it gets to you.
No. I mean, in that situation, like, nothing is promised.
Right.
If you see wide open green in front of you and you're down 7, you score.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hold up there because they could stop you.
Yep.
It's unlikely the way that they were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but it could happen. And how fucking angry would we be at Kareem Hunt if he had held up there to try to finish milking the clock and then had failed, and then we failed to punch it in.
And you're absolutely right. But it hurts. And I was watching with my buddy Colin. He's a Ravens fan. He's been on this network before, whether it be his matches on Really Trivia Showdown or his guest appearance on Spin from the Real or the Twilight Marathon we did for charity. Colin's been on here. He's a Ravens fan. And he even said he thought they were dead in the water. Lamar, questionable to come back. Trace McSorley looked like he just tore his ACL.
Do they even have a third rostered quarterback?
That was Trace.
That was Trace. Oh yeah, that's right. Because RG3 was their backup, and he went out with an injury, right?
He's on the IR currently.
Yeah. So that was it for him.
Yeah, it was. It looked like it was the Browns' game to win, but Lamar got the poop out of his system. As he wants to claim, it wasn't for that reason. We have all at this point.
I can't believe he actually referenced the Paul Pierce thing. That was fucking incredible.
He's like, I ain't trying to pull a Paul Pierce, bro. We all saw the video of you going into the locker room. You did the side to side bop, and you told someone move.
And that turd was playing peekaboo with his booty hole. It was like,
Yeah, don't we all know. Don't try to play it off. It is what it is. Just be a man and fess up to it. But yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough one.
It's okay. It's all right. Like
everyone's got to. Everyone's got it.
It's a natural bodily function. You had to take a shit, man. It's okay. It's all right. But all right. So, offense
started off rough, but stellar.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like they couldn't. We looked unstoppable at times.
Besides Rashard Higgins and the 2 fumbles and 2 plays in a row, that he got lucky that they went out of bounds.
He recovered one of them.
He recovered. Yeah, I thought
one out of bounds.
I thought they both went out of bounds because I know it was close both times. But
yeah.
But hey, all that matters is Brown still kept the ball. Cool.
Yep. I mean, it was a roller coaster for sure. When they were down 2 touchdowns, I said, "Welp." They were down 2 touchdowns twice, and I was just like, here we go.
And then
I started getting flashbacks to week 1, and I was like, "Oh no, not again, you motherfuckers!" Don't.
And then they showed they're not the same team.
Yeah, they did, and but I mean, pretty much, there's nothing really to say about the offense. I mean, everybody did their job on offense. Mm-hmm. The offensive line was phenomenal.
There was a scare when we thought Jed might be going out because
he got rolled. It didn't even look like he got rolled up on, did it? He kind of did. Yeah, and so there was that. But everybody on offense did their job. Chubb and Hunt looked like Chubb and Hunt.
Yeah,
and Baker, fucking Baker, man.
These last few weeks, last month, arguably, he looked like that QB we've wanted him to be all season.
I think Baker is turning the corner.
Yeah,
I'm not anointing him.
The franchise could be yet.
But Baker is turning the corner.
Yeah, he's turning the corner.
We're starting to see what Baker can be.
I think,
and it's beautiful.
I think it's because he's finally settling into this offense.
Yeah, and you know what? It's an offense where he's asked to do the right amount.
Yes.
You know, they're not asking him to throw it 40 times usually, although he did chuck it a lot.
Threw for 48 yesterday.
He threw 48 times yesterday? 47?
47 or 48, one of the two.
But you know what? I never
needed it.
I never felt like, how do I put this? I never felt like I was worried with him dropping back.
Nope.
Like, he was inspiring a lot of confidence, and that's something he hasn't done. You know, year before last, his rookie year, he still didn't inspire the kind of confidence he did yesterday. Like, you felt way more at ease. I felt like nothing bad was going to happen. That being said, can we talk about the number of intentional groundings he's had this year?
See, I think Andy Baskin from Baskin and Phelps said it best. I don't care. And one of those yesterday was bullshit. You could see his arm was getting hit in the motion of throwing. But
yeah, it was, to me, that one was borderline because it didn't look like he got hit like it got affected that much. Mm-hmm. But you could definitely argue it. I think that was maybe a little bit of overcalling. But when you get that call, it's because of tendencies.
Yeah.
He has a tendency to intentionally ground the ball. Yeah. And quarterbacks who don't do it often, they don't get that call against them. You know what I mean? It's just like the offensive lineman that's always fucking holding. And they burn him for holding twice a game. When it's borderline, that offensive lineman gets burned. That's how it works. You know what I mean? If it's something that you do all the time, they're looking for it. And it's unfortunately a problem in his game right now. It's one of the few fucking flaws I can find, to be fair. But he does have to clean that up because that actually cost him a lot of yards yesterday. He's got to clean that up.
I will say this. Andy Baskin from Baskin and Phelps on 92 through the fans said it best. I'd rather he have an intentional grounding call than a interception.
Yes, I would too. But at the same time, if you're going to get an intentional grounding anyways,
throw it out.
Throw it out and don't leave it in the field of play because yesterday one of his landed in the field of play still out in the flat. And those flat passes get picked. So he was still sort of risking a pick in that situation.
Yeah.
So I don't like the intentional groundings. That bothers me. That being said, there was no other issues with Baker yesterday. He made good decisions. He was reading the defense. And anytime they went to zone, he just picked them to fucking pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were moments when I was sure for just a moment that his jersey number was 12 or 18, the way he was picking apart those zones. And you know the players I'm referencing.
I can think of 12. I can't think of 18 right now.
18 was Peyton Manning.
Okay.
The way Peyton Manning used to just manhandle fucking zone coverage. He would just that was the most ridiculous part of Peyton Manning's game, is that if there was zone, he was going to burn you for 12, 13, 14 on every attempt. If you showed Peyton zone, he was going to eat you alive in the middle part of his career. After the first couple seasons he got under his belt, because the first couple seasons he actually didn't look that amazing.
Right.
But once he got some time under his belt, that zone defense, that was his staple. Anytime he saw zone, he was going to burn you for 10, 15, 20 yards because he would find the hole. Zones always have a hole where you leave one zone and you go into another zone. He could see where that space was and when it was going to open up, and the ball would be waiting on the receiver when he got there. And that's what Baker looked like yesterday against zone. It was just a treat to watch.
we should bring it to the attention that a few weeks ago it looked like he wasn't going to hit that 3,500 passing yard mark. He is now within 800 passing yards of it.
800?
He's within 800. He's got 2785.
Yeah, he's probably going to hit it. He's got 3 games left. So he needs to average like 250, 275 per game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely going to do that, especially with the Jets coming to town.
You got the Giants.
I'm sorry, us going to the Jets, us going to the Meadowlands for 2 games. Yeah, you have the Giants, but the Giants aren't as abysmal.
Yeah, the Giants aren't as abysmal. We get to see how Jabril Peppers, former Cleveland Browns draft pick, is doing, which he's had a great year this year. Got to give it up to him. But
yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
it's it.
You know what I can say? I can say almost definitively, this is not Brown's Super Bowl year. But you know what? With us getting Delpit back next year, another year of draft classes, another year of Baker and Chubb and Landry and everybody kind of getting together.
Steadily increasing Denzel Ward. Another year of Ronnie Harrison.
And I'm especially excited to see what our safety room looks like when we get Delpit back.
Mm-hmm.
And we can finally send motherfucking I've been trying to forget his name, huh?
Sendejo.
When we finally can get Sendejo the fuck out of here.
Although Brown's Twitter rallied around him after J.K. Dobbins' tweet earlier.
What was earlier? I was at work. I'm sorry. I didn't see it.
So the tweet came out about how he was putting concussion protocol, and J.K. Dobbins. This hurt me because I'm a huge Ohio State fan. J.K. came out and said he better bring his big boy britches next time. I keep all my runs strong or something along those lines.
Well, I mean, he did run him over. I mean,
yeah, he did.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not excited to see the dude go into concussion protocol. That could be lasting damage. That's that's CTE.
And it's also we're already thin. We're in the back 7 right now.
Yeah,
Renzel's been out. Greedy hasn't been healthy at all this year.
Greedy hasn't been back. Yeah, he's not played at all. I'm hoping we get to see him at some point this year. But
you're relying on Tavier Thomas, MJ Stewart, Mitchell. Like, you don't have a lot of options. I'm shocked I haven't seen more AJ Green because he was supposed to be this big undrafted free agent.
Didn't we cut him?
No,
we cut AJ Green.
Squad. No, he's
practice squad. Okay.
But I'm surprised they did him in this time where we need back 7 help.
Yeah, it makes me think that there's something off with AJ Green. It doesn't make me think that
they've elevated him once this year.
Okay.
What's up,
And
Pete?
that was actually against Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, that's against Cincinnati. Man, we
Yeah.
don't want to talk about the Packers. This is Brown's post-game show.
Yeah, get out of here with that, man.
Pete, I'll see you on Sunday.
I mean, definitely still listen, but like,
yeah,
fuck out of here with that Packers talk.
nah,
We're not interested.
We focus on the Browns and occasionally delve off into the otherness, but yeah, it's that the back set, the front four did their job. The front four did their job.
Defensively,
Yeah,
I disagree.
they got pressure, 4 sacks. Granted, the best defender of the entire night was the Cleveland Browns field.
That's true. So here's my problem with how our front four played, and linebackers too. Again, the linebackers have been a constant problem. I wouldn't be upset if we went linebacker first round, linebacker second round, because our linebacking core is just horrible.
The only one who has been worth a damn is, well, Mac Wilson, and we all expect that.
Yep.
My dad and I were talking yesterday. They probably right now regret not paying Schobert.
That's yeah. So what I was getting at is I don't think the front four did their job. They got the pressure and they got the sacks, but they also played a big role in and QB scrambles equating to like 147 yards.
Yeah.
That was a problem for me. And the reason that I'm attributing a big portion of that to the Browns front four is that they lost contain so many times. They weren't setting an edge ever. There was no edge to be found. We were an edgeless defense all night. And so they were over pursuing, and
yes.
And that was allowing Jackson to run past them constantly. And yeah, he totaled 124 yards with a 13.8 yards average. So he averaged 14 fucking yards per carry.
Yeah.
And that is a front four problem. That is a linebacking problem. That's not setting your edge. That's not staying home and filling your gaps. And it's getting too hungry in a bad way. It's getting over eager. You're so focused on the sack that you're not actually playing defense. You're just chasing someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I was throwing things last night.
Yeah, I remember you messaged me that. I was like, yeah, I can understand why.
And I was throwing things because of we weren't filling gaps. Why were we not playing with a spy all night, by the way?
I have no idea.
Like, we know that here's the thing. The formula for beating a running quarterback, and that is what Lamar Jackson is. He's a running quarterback. He's not a dual threat quarterback because frankly, his arm is only a threat when you let his legs become a threat first. Okay? He's not a dual threat quarterback. He's a running quarterback. There's a difference. He is not equally talented with his arms and his legs. That's not a thing for him, okay? We know the fucking blueprint. You spy him and you stay home. You give him 2 yards. Give him to him. Fuck it. You can't get a first down with 2 yards. Usually.
Right.
Fuck it. Let him have it. What you can't do is over pursue and let him torch you for 30. You can't do that. And we did it all night. And so I had a huge problem with schematically how we were playing defense without a spy. And I had a huge problem with us not at halftime allowing it to continue to happen in the second half. If you get burned for almost 100 yards in the first half by the quarterback with his feet, and you go to the locker room and make no defensive adjustments to account for that, I don't know what the fuck we're paying a defensive coordinator for.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to come down hard on our defensive coordinator. I know he's playing shorthanded. I know. I know he's had a lot of injuries. I know. But in the end, you still have to put people in the right place schematically. And if they can't keep up with him, okay, it's a talent issue. If they can't, if they're not shifty enough to stay, if they get beat, right? If he just outruns them, if he just hits a move and just shoots past somebody, I'll live with that. But we were not putting people in the correct place on defense to effectively counter that rushing attack by the quarterback. We just weren't doing it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry to rant, but
you go right ahead, dude.
Like right schematically, that was fucking appalling. The way that we game planned to deal with the rushing attack of the Ravens, it was insulting. Honestly, it's like we just didn't watch any film from the last 3 years of fucking Lamar Jackson. I mean, the book is out. You spy him because it's the same fucking book that we had for Michael Vick. It's the same fucking book. It's not a different book. It's the same goddamn book. Just read it. Your only job is to read that book this week and then apply it to the kind of defense you play. That's it. You got one job as a defensive coordinator. One. Just one. Just do that. And it's crazy. Like, I'm a fan, and I know this. Spy, fill your gaps. Accept that you're going to give up a yard or two when he takes off. You are. You may give up a couple of chunk plays because he just beats you because he's that fucking good. I'm not saying that you won't ever get beat if you play it correctly. You fucking will. Right. He's that talented. But the number of times that he beat us with his feet that way, it's just a total disregard for how you need to play that kind of quarterback. And I can't abide it. No. It was a fucking mess. You can't let the fucking Ravens, who, by the way, are not an explosive offense as a rule. They're not. Especially with all the drops. I mean, they had 3 drops that should have each been either a touchdown or a 30-yard gain. 3 drops. They should have scored fucking 60 on us. I'm not saying that I wish they would have, but what I am saying is that our defense was so far away from being competitive, and our front 4 did not do their jobs. They did not do their jobs. Because even though they got 4 sacks, they still let Lamar Jackson burn them for 124 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns for a 14-yard per rush average on 9 carries, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
That means he was getting a touchdown every 4.5 times he took off with the ball.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? What is that? Those are video game numbers.
This has become the Sean Rages hour, and I love it.
Just what the fuck is that? Okay. So, step 1, the way that you fix this. Step 1, everybody who plays linebacker, not named Mac Wilson, who played in that game, should not play in the next game. We should just pick up people who are sitting on the couch.
You might have done better.
I would have fucking been in the right spot at least. And I'm a 400-pound man. He might have got past me, but I'd have been where I was supposed to fucking be.
I love this. Keep going, Sean.
I mean, fuck, man. Like, he might have burnt me, but at least I wouldn't have been out of position. That's what I wouldn't have done, is I wouldn't have been out of position. You wouldn't have been out of position. Would you have, Matt? We were out of position constantly. We were over pursuing. You can't chase fucking 4 yards behind him. The man runs a 4.2. You can't catch him. You have to stay in front of him. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not even a 4.2. It's like a 4.138 or some stupid, ridiculous fucking shit. Like, he's too fast. He's one of the top 5 fastest people in the whole league. And he plays quarterback.
Yeah.
You can't rush around the edge and try to do that fucking janky ass swim move around the outside to chase him down from behind because he's faster than you are by a lot. I'm sorry. Myles Garrett, one of the best athletes in the whole league. I'm taking nothing away from him, right? He over pursued all night. Yeah. All fucking night. Actually, the person who was most disciplined was probably fucking Olivier Vernon. Honestly,
Claiborne.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No, he was out of position, but they were all out of position constantly. I'm trying to figure out who was out of position the least often, because everybody fucking did it all goddamn night. Fair. I mean, Claiborne did it all night. Everybody who played defensive line was out of position.
Yeah.
All night. You don't get 124 yards on the ground as a quarterback unless people are out of position. You don't, no matter how fucking good you are. That's the kind of shit you get in Madden when you play on beginner mode. Okay, you can't even get that when you play in all Madden.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't. Because when you play in all Madden, people fill fucking gaps in a video game. Yeah, they do. At least sorta. I mean, fucking A, man. Look, believe it or not, last night was encouraging to me. But I gotta say, I don't believe in our defensive coordinator right now. I'm not saying replace him because we need some continuity, but I don't believe in him right now. And I know he's playing shorthanded, but the stuff he was drawing up was just wrong.
Fair.
Like he was dead fucking wrong the way that he game planned that game. He was wrong. Like he was just flat out wrong for the kind of quarterback and the kind of offense that he was facing. It should have never looked like that schematically. I don't care if you got fucking Barney playing defensive end. Yes, I mean Barney. Not Barney Fife. I mean purple fucking dinosaur. Okay?
Oh, God damn it.
I don't care if you got Big Bird playing fucking corner. Schematically, we were playing wrong.
Okay.
It was incorrect. Like sorry. I don't mean to just go on this, but it was just bad on so many levels. It hurt my soul to watch the defense play last night because everybody was looking for the sack. Everybody wanted the fucking me stat too. That was part of it. It was selfish defense. I want my numbers defense. It was Myles Garrett going, you know what? I want to be defensive MVP of the league. That's what I want. So I'm going to see how many sacks I can get on Lamar Jackson. Motherfucker. Stay in your fucking spot when you have a quarterback that could gap you like in a foot race like that. I mean, like,
yeah.
And Myles Garrett's fast. Don't get me. I mean, he's fast as fuck. Like I'm not. But when you have somebody who can just flatly outrun you by that much, you have to stay home. You have to fill gaps. You have to play smart defense. If you get an opportunity for a sack, it's probably going to be the defensive tackle pushed up the middle, collapsing the pocket. It's not going to be on a fucking swim move coming around the edge because he outruns that. He sees you and just goes, ha, run away from you. That's what happens.
Yeah.
He sees you behind him and he goes, this motherfucker can't catch me. And he just runs away. He doesn't have to pull a move because he's just faster than you are. You're not even making him make a move. And especially because what happens when you get that defense, especially with those stunts they were running on the defensive ends, what happens is the fucking offensive line is able to, because of those stunts they were running up the middle, because of those stunts, the defensive line was being parted like the fucking Red Sea. And he was just rushing, he was just gashing you right at the middle. or when they tried to collapse the middle and bring an extra safety on the blitz up the middle, they were coming in shaped like a fucking V, and he was able to just go around.
Flying V.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm gonna let you get in, man.
No, you're not saying anything. Please continue.
It was just horrible. It was just like the offense looked great, but quite frankly, when you touch the ball that many times, you're going to develop a rhythm. And we touched the ball that many times because they were able to score at will on us. So a big part of why we were able to score so much is because there were extra possessions in this game because of how many times we just got scored on in under a minute. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me for what the average time for a drive was by the Ravens, but it was not long. They were scoring on like 4 and 5 play, drives constantly that took less than 2 minutes off the clock. And when you do that consistently, you add possessions to the game. And so, of course, the score runs up for both teams.
Anything I disagree with, dude.
I mean, it's easy to score 40 points when you touch the ball 18 times. You know what I mean? I don't know how many possessions there were total, but it was a fucking lot.
Dude,
I don't think it was 18 times, but
like I said, you're not going to hear me disagree with you at all.
Like, I mean, that being said, the offense did look very efficient when they played. Like, our offense looked very good. I'm going to calm down now.
You pretty much nailed everything I had to say. Like, this is why I love doing this show with you, because you have no issue just being like, screw it, I'm putting it all out there. Like,
dude, that defense was just, I don't know what the fuck I was watching. I mean, I've gone to the fucking parking lot and watched crackheads scheme defense better than that.
Yikes.
I mean, crackheads playing for a 40. I've seen better defense than that. I'm kidding. I've never seen crackheads playing football for a 40. However, I feel it'd be highly amusing, and I do want to see that at some point in my life. Can we find some crackheads?
I've been tailgating and had to deal with them before. I saw them got dropped. So,
but yeah, no, I mean, I guess now we can fast forward a little bit to next week.
Yeah,
I think we got the Giants
playing well. I'm just still mind boggled by a lot of the things you just said. I love your passion. That's point blank. I love your passion.
I'm angry. Can you tell I'm angry? I'm angry.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
I almost cried at the end of that game. Not out of disappointment, out of frustration.
Dude, I sat here dejected and had a buddy who's a Ravens fan because we used StreamYard and we were each watching the game from respective homes. And I had to deal. The kick came in. I'm like, you had a timeout. You could have. You had two. You could have at least tried to ice Justin Tucker.
I would have iced him twice. Fuck him.
One of the most accurate kickers of all time.
I would have iced him like nanoseconds before the fucking snap.
Mm-hmm.
I would have saw the fucking center grip the ball, and I would have just been like, time, and I would have did it twice. Cause fuck him. I'm gonna make him think about it for a whole 80 seconds.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You live and you learn, you move on, and we're gonna move on this week to the Giants.
So a quick preview of the Giants.
Quick preview. Giants have been playing well recently. They went from a team that looked like they might go 0-16, like the Jets look like they're going to go, to a team that is just killing it right now. Joe Judge is coming on, and you can see why people trust him, or people trusted him as the head coach. He may be the next Sean McVay. Granted, he'll need to get Daniel Jones out of there because he's the next great running back, not next great quarterback. But yeah, that's really the like. Granted, we might be playing Colt McCoy for all we know. We could be playing Colt McCoy, which would be hilarious.
I think what would be hilarious, and I'm not wishing any injuries on anybody, but what would be hilarious is if Colt McCoy got knocked out of that game.
Oh.
Like, I'm not wishing it, but it would be funny. It would. It would be funny. I'm telling you, it would. Just like it would have been funny if we'd been the ones to knock RG3 out of the game. Like if RG3 had made it to, it would have been funny. Like, I'm not wishing injury on anybody. I hope that he never gets injured again in his whole life. Seriously. Like, Colt McCoy was a class act when he was here. He just wasn't that good of a quarterback. He just wasn't good.
Yeah. I remember we went to one of those games. You're like, yeah, RG3 looks okay.
Dude, I wanted year one Redskins RG3 to be a thing in Cleveland so bad. I wanted him to come here and just be able to rehabilitate his career and just like be the RG3 that Washington thought that they were getting when they traded 3 firsts for him. I wanted that to happen so badly. And it just fucking didn't. Like, they were right to cut his ass. He sucks.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm excited. 11-4 is probable. Can it be 12-4?
Yes, it can actually.
Yeah, and that's right. I think it can be too. I'm just saying that's what Browns fans are thinking right now.
So here's how I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, the way it plays out, and I'm not going to play the schedule game really, but I sort of am. So fucking deal with it because it's our show and I can do what I want. And no one can stop me except Matt, who happens to be the admin on this channel. So he could throw me out if he wanted to, but I don't think he's going to do that. So nobody can fucking stop me. So fuck you guys. They're going to beat the Giants.
Yeah, they're going to beat the Giants. They're going to beat the Jets.
I think so. The way I think that this Steelers game plays out, it's going to be late December game, or is it like the first week of January still?
First week of January.
First week of January. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be the field conditions are going to be fucking horrific.
Yep.
And Chubb and Kareem Hunt will combine for 250 yards on the ground. That's how that's gonna. Like, I'm betting on them to average $125 a piece that game, because we're just gonna run it down their throats, because they're not gonna have any answer for it whatsoever. I would be shocked.
Up their linebackers have been. Their linebackers are some of the strength of that run defense, and they're not there.
Right. I mean,
they got to contain James Conner this time, because that's why the Steelers won the first time.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think that this game has a potential to be, versus the Steelers, a game where the Browns are able to score on every single drive, because I don't think the Steelers can stop them at all. So that means we only have to stop James Conner once.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking at this game. Because Big Ben's not going to beat you. I mean, he's not. And honestly, I don't think Big Ben is better than Baker Mayfield right now.
He's not. He really isn't. They're looking to draft. They're looking to get their hands on his replacement. And I was talking to a buddy who's a Steelers fan at work today, and he's like, yeah, dude, I honestly like remember how a few weeks ago we were talking about, when early, not a few weeks ago, earlier in the season, we were talking about maybe taking a flyer on Sam Darnold wouldn't be a bad idea. My buddy who's a Steelers fan is like, yo, yeah, I would definitely take a flyer on Sam Darnold. Just you give him that behind Ben that year or so, boom. You give him all this system and weapons the Steelers have, boom, and that's what scares me.
So here's the thing. I think that when you go out and get another quarterback that you actually intend to be your next starter, you have to cut the cord on Ben right away. Because Ben has the type of personality. Big Ben is the type of personality type. Now, we've seen this before. Remember when they drafted a quarterback last year and he got all up in arms because they went and got a quarterback instead of drafting him another wide receiver? Like,
no, that was Aaron Rodgers.
I thought Big Ben did that too, though.
No, Big Ben did not do that.
That was Aaron Rodgers.
That was Aaron Rodgers.
I know Aaron Rodgers did that, but I thought Big Ben did that too.
No.
But he just strikes me as somebody who would not be willing to reach down and teach the new kid. Like he's gonna be a my job guy. He is. You can just look at his stupid fucking face and tell. He's probably a fucking anti-vaxxer. Just look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Just look at him. You know he's selfish. He's a rapist.
Allegedly.
Allegedly twice? Motherfucker, you did that shit.
Twice. Allegedly twice.
If you've been accused 2 individual and separate times of touching somebody inappropriately, you did that shit at least once, okay, motherfucker? Nah. So when somebody
for legal reasons, we have to say allegedly.
It is my opinion that motherfucker did that shit. That's why I call him Rapist Burger to this day. And what I mean by Rapist Burger is not only is it a play on words, but I genuinely believe that he would rape a cheeseburger.
Okay.
Both figuratively and literally, because look at how he comes to camp. He's always out of shape. You can tell he's been raping cheeseburgers all off season.
Hey, where's David at?
By the way, guys, rape's not fucking funny. And if you're a rapist, you're an absolute piece of shit.
And you deserve to be in jail or have your genitals cut off.
Yes. Rape's not funny. That was satire based around rape, but rape in and of itself, not fucking funny. Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Had to get that disclaimer in there because, you know, people who can't take a fucking joke are going to be like, I can't believe you're making rape jokes. Fuck you.
That's direct.
I know rape's not funny.
Person. That's directed at. That's directed person.
No, dude, that could be tons of people. That could be tons of people.
It could be, but I know it's directed at one.
I'm actually not. I actually wasn't even thinking about David when I went on that rant, to be honest with you. I wasn't. I had not even thought of his name in weeks, honestly.
I saw they tagged you in something the other day. I was like,
I did see that. I was like, the fuck? Anyways, he likes Trump, and so I don't like him.
All right, I think.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to get political in you guys. Let's get back to the. Let's keep it funny and let's keep it about football.
Let's finish this and call it a night.
All right, so I honestly and genuinely believe, after seeing the way that the offense played last night, that they will win out.
Yes.
Especially because it was not a flash in the pan. They did it the week before as well. I don't think that there's any team on the schedule left for the regular season that has even a glimmer of a hope of containing this offense. And it just makes me sad that we don't have the defense to go along with it, because if we did, we'd be talking about a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It makes me really, it's really sad. It's really disappointing.
Next year, there's nobody on that offense is about to be a free agent.
It's true. You get another year of coherency. You get OTAs next year, hopefully.
OBJ gone and traded for something else.
Honestly, though, they don't look like they miss OBJ, man.
No, and that's my point. That's why I said that. And I know, I remember.
I hate to say it. Can we get a linebacker for OBJ? Can we call Jacksonville?
Hey, OBJ,
will they give us?
You give us Joe Show. We give you.
No. I want Miles Jack for OBJ.
I want Miles Jack and Joe Show. Make those contracts work, buddy.
Okay, I'll take that trade all fucking day. Well, I mean, fuck.
I'll even throw in my second. Give me Miles Jack and Joe Show, and then I'll draft a corner in the first to replace Greedy.
I don't think you need to worry about replacing Greedy yet. I don't. I mean, he's got nerve damage, but I think he'll be fine next year. I'm
just saying you need to light a fire under him, because what happens? You light a fire under him, and what if that rookie outplays him? That you got depth.
Yeah,
that's something we do need at cornerback.
That's true. We do need depth, but we have depth. Our depth is actually playing.
Terrence Smith. That's the thing. Terrence Smith was a free agent after this year, if I remember correctly.
That's true, but he hasn't played so well that he'll get a big contract elsewhere. We can probably resign him on the cheap.
Who says?
Granted, do you really want defenders that you can resign on the cheap? I guess that's part of the problem.
Yep.
Like, if you can get them on the cheap, if you can get them back on the cheap, do you really want them anyways? I mean, would you rather draft someone to take your chances? I mean, yeah, I would definitely look at a corner or a defensive end, because we will be losing Olivier Vernon, won't we?
Yeah, but he is someone you can get on the cheap and has finally been consistent. He's been consistent these last few weeks.
What about Sheldon Richardson? How long is he? Is he
got 1 more year left?
1 more year? Okay.
And I think the way he's been playing, they'll work on re-signing him.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you keep that defensive line together for the most part. Maybe look at
the one who's a free agent, I believe.
Yeah, and you got to lock up Ogunjobi because he's played well. I mean, he over-pursued last night, though. Yeah, that pissed me off. But last night I was ready to trade a whole defensive line, including Myles Garrett. I was mad. I was hot last night. Dude, when I tell you I was fucking hot last night, honestly, I'm glad we didn't do this show last night, because the rant that I just did would have been worse last night. Oh my gosh. Last night, dude, I wish we had done the show, because you would have seen Sean in rare fucking form last night. I was heated. Like, the minute I sent you that message, like, nah, fuck it, let's do the show. We got to do it right now, though. I literally had gotten up, walked over to my computer, turned on my screens, and I was waiting on you. At 12:01, when you got that message, I was at my computer. I was ready to go. And I sent that message, and I was like, I got to go to work early, And then I started getting madder, and I was like, you know what? Nah, I got to get some shit off my chest. But I ended up going into the office, and we ended up talking about football for like an hour in the morning anyways.
Right.
Like a half an hour before we really got to work, Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that's
my new workplace. Anyways,
I think that's it for this week. We will see you this Sunday. Yes, we're back to Sunday.
We'll see you Sunday.
3 games left. 3 games left. How will the Browns finish? Our money's on 12-4. Will they get there? We'll see. Signing off. I'm Matt.
I'm Sean.
This was another Who Are They? Dawg Check. Have a good
one.